I know you're a Raptors fan. I'm going to leave the Leafs for Phil. I love the Raptors. I'm sorry. I still believe in them, but they have a fucking 2-game lead. They can fucking put the nail in the coffin, and they let Washington back into the series.
And when Washington was one of their best players.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing. The Raptors have never been up 2-0 in a series in their franchise history. They finally had a chance. And, one of the things about Toronto and the reason why they haven't been able to get out of the East is because they have to use too much energy in those first round, second round. 2 years ago when they went to the East Final, they had to go 7 games in round 1, 7 games in round 2 before falling to Cleveland. So the narrative this year was, you know what? You're the 1 seed. Let's make it easy on yourself. Yeah. You're up 2-0. Go to Washington. Either win 2 games or win 1 game. Come back, end it in 5 or win in 4. And you're right, Frank. A lot of disappointment that the Raptors reverted back to their old ways in game number 4. They were up 11 at the half. Their offense in the second half went ice cold. They were basically
I disagree. I just want to interrupt a minute. A friend of mine, Jonathan Gatehouse, just tweeted, which I think is very profound, and it's exactly what I think. Toronto won't be defined by a van attack, but rather be how it responds. Mm-hmm. Thoughts on the tragic spring afternoon via today's thing. But what he's saying is they're going to be defined by how they responded, and I agree with that. But going back to the Raptors, here's my problem, Eric. Mm-hmm. They were up all in the last 2 games they lost against Washington, and then the fucking turnovers are horrendous.
Well, if you watch the fourth quarter, and the Raptors started the fourth quarter an 8-0 run, they looked to be in control. It looked like they were afraid. They were afraid to shoot. DeLon Wright, C.J. Miles, they were afraid to shoot. All they wanted to do was get the ball into DeRozan, isolate him, and try to get him to get the basket and just basically bail them out the way that they've always played the playoffs in previous years, and that doesn't work. In the playoffs, your offense needs to be less predictable. The Raptors have been so good with ball movement and finding guys open to take long-range shots, and that all disappeared in the fourth quarter. And as John said, Bradley Beal fouled out with 5 minutes left on a bogus call on DeRozan. The Raptors caught a break, and they didn't take advantage. Their offense was...
But I kind of disagree a little bit with the synopsis. I think they tried to be cute in the fourth quarter with these back passes and these. You're playing. You're in the NBA where every player is the best in the world. In the world, there's no better basketball played, as far as I'm concerned, than the NBA.
Well, you're right, Frank. What happened was a few times when the Raptors had shots, instead of taking those shots, they made the extra pass. The pass got telegraphed. It turned into a turnover. It turned into transition points for Washington. So you're right. That was definitely a huge issue in the fourth quarter, and that all stems from the fact that they were afraid to take those shots, the same shots that they've been taking all year, and they won 59 games.
So the first seed is now tied with what's Washington, 7th or the 8th seed?
Yep, 8th seed. Now
it's mind-boggling to me.
That being said, Cleveland, and Cleveland's probably playing a bit of a weaker team in Indiana, despite the fact what their record says. They're 2-2 as well. The only Boston, Milwaukee is 2-2 as well. The only team in the East right now that's playing really, really good basketball is the Philadelphia 76ers.